Hi everyone, I'm Ginger Bothamus and I am part of the grade 10 CCD team.
And I'm Judy Butler, and I'm glad to be here.
Judy and I have team taught for the last 4 years and we're so thrilled to do it again this year. Unfortunately not in person, but hopefully by the end of this we'll all be together. And tonight we're going to talk about the importance of relationships with each other and God.
Why do we crave relationship, ladies?
For me, I crave a relationship to not be alone, to have somebody I can trust, confide in God, pray to, somebody who knows me.
And I think for me, it increases our confidence, our self-esteem. It makes us feel important and worthy.
What are some great traits of a good friendship?
I think that's really easy for Judy and I to answer because we have been best friends since we met with our children. So I'm going to give you the traits that I think Judy exemplifies for our relationship. Now I've written down a few, so I am going to put my glasses on and read a few. She's totally honest with me. She's trustworthy. She's loyal. She's compassionate. I can always be myself with her. She's respectful. She is an amazing listener. She encourages my dreams. We work together extremely well. She doesn't hold my weaknesses against me, and we're a team.
And mine is love, trust, reliability is a big one for me. To know that in Ginger's case, she is always there. I can be my authentic self, good or bad. Accepts me for who I am, because it's not all good. And just, again, being able to truly be myself.
So, why don't you all take some time and think about that? We all have special people in our lives. As you start out, it's with your family, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents. And as you get older, especially now in 10th grade, your relationships are very important with your peers. So, take a little bit of time and figure out what is important to you in a relationship. It might be some of the qualities that Judy and I have described. It may totally be different, and that's okay. All relationships are different, but I think we all crave to have that, as Rose mentioned in the beginning. It's very important for us all to have a special place in our life and have special people that we truly do have a bond with.
And you can have work relationships, coffee cup relationships, church relationships, of course. Just, there's all kinds of relationships that we can have.
And how does having good relationship with people relate to having a good relationship with God?
Well, again, I don't mean to be redundant, but to know we are never alone. I know that God is always there, like my trusted friends are always there. But sometimes you need more than that, and God is always there because of it. And you can pray. You can, without a doubt, truly that is the one person you can trust, God. You can tell him anything without judgment. You will get forgiveness. It's a pure relationship, just without really expecting anything back. It's just a conversation you have with God. And you can work through things with God when you're praying. Of course, like you can do with a friend, but sometimes there's certain things you might want to hold close to your heart. But again, you're never alone if you can share that with God.
I wrote down that we're made in the image and likeness of God. As you build a relationship with God, it's your trust and faith that's rewarded, your spiritual strength increases, your love and knowledge, and you get it like an inner peace. And I think Judy and I have talked a little bit about this with COVID. How we all crave that, and yet we don't have that connection right now. We're not seeing each other as much. You guys are not seeing each other as much, not being in school. And I know that's gonna be terribly hard for you at your age. But like I said earlier, you can go outside and make a connection with nature, with meditation, with yoga. Those are all ways of becoming closer to God. I think, it's been drilled in our generation that your connection with God is only truly through prayer. And certainly Judy and I both will tell you we are prayers. But for you guys, we hope you do, but also make a connection with God in just a more spiritual way. Like, unfortunately, this year we may not be able to be taught how to do meditation. We've done that in the past with grade 10, and we've all loved that. And there's just other ways that we can connect to that relationship with God that we all want you to explore. And it may be things that we're not even thinking of.
With COVID in particular, the silence and the stillness that has been forced upon us basically, as perhaps all our social situations have disappeared, it's really made me appreciate people around me more, my family, see them in a light that I've never seen them before. And an interesting thing is I really think of my departed relatives, my mother, my father, and my grandparents, and just honor that, and it's just made me reflective. And I think that has made me reflect a lot more on for God, for sure. And I look back to hitting my brother behind my grandmother while she was on her hands and knees saying the rosary, and we weren't. Well, suddenly I'm saying the rosary, and get the meaning and depth and neediness out of it, and the comfort of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think right now we need that relationship with God just to help us get through these days. It's trying times, it's fearful times, it's lonely times. And Judy's right. You do appreciate your family more. And we may not be seeing them as much as we would like, but think about that. Think about how you can connect with God through these times, and make life a little bit simpler and easier for you guys.
And we can always be connected to God in 24 hours a day.
Exactly.
In ways that we can't be connected with each other. So that in itself can be a comfort.
So we challenge you to be open to having a relationship with God.